Discovery, the action or process of finding or being uncovered. Discovery is a path of growth. Discovery can be gradual and anticipated depending on the individual. The movie Life of Pi by Ang Lee, the interview of the actor who plays Pi, Sharad Sharma, and the poem titled Mirror by Sylvia Plath are all texts that relate to the idea of discovery. As we talk about the four elements, earth, fire, water, air, are represented as our four main beliefs throughout the film, while earth being Islam, air being Christianity, water being Hinduism, and fire being reason. This scene is crucial for the audience because it shows the connection between Pi and himself. It's sort of a reflection in a sense, as he writes a letter and places it in the bottle and throws it into the ocean. While he does have his beliefs and he feels as though these will help him throughout, reason hasn't been as important for him, and this scene shows that he is starting to rely on reason. The scenery displays a sense of element of fire is exposed, with the background and how the yellows and the oranges are throughout. With this relating back to the interview where Pi Sharma talks about himself and how the connection between the both of them, even though Pi is a fictional character, grew into who they are today, and they learned from their mistakes and moved forward. At the end of the interview, Sharma talks about the sense of hope. The sense that there is always hope, and if there is hope, there is truth, and finding yourself can be provided with a sense of self-discovery, for you to become who you are, and how your battle of your physical, spiritual, and emotional journey has begun. While doing the interview before he talks about hope, he seems a bit tense, but as soon as he starts to talk about hope and how there's this sense of familiarity comes into it, and he feels comfortable, and it seems that himself has self-discovered this over time, which is also time of discovery. The poem Mirror by Sylvia Plath is one of the very important other elements of discovery. While this talks about discovery, how it can be gradual and anticipated depending on the individual. This is evident in this poem, which shows how over time you start to know more about the individual and enables the discovery to become stronger about oneself. She uses the lines, "I am important to her," as a kind of reflection on who she is and where she's going with her life. She also uses, "I think it's part of my heart," as a sense of being close and to who the person really is. The title Mirror is also a sense of self-reflection, because when you look into a mirror, you're seeing yourself for who you really are, not what other people perceive you as. And this is important because Sylvia Plath talks about a lake being the key element in her poem. As well in Life of Pi, most of the scenes are shot in the water. This final scene is when Pi is laying on the beach and Richard Parker has disappeared and the local fishing people have found Pi. This shows a sense of the end of time, where a part of his journey or a chapter has ended in his life, and now the act of survival is closed. Especially in this scene with Pi looking at Richard Parker as he lays on the sand in his most vulnerable moments and their last time for them together. It really shows the journey that they have gone through and who they are as characters. For Sharma to become Pi, he had to figure out who he was before he even started. He talks about how before he even started to become the character of Pi, he needed to learn a few physical things such as doing yoga, learning how to swim, holding his breath for up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. He also had to connect with Pi on a mental scale. He had to think like Pi, act like Pi, and find that connection between the two of them. And for him to do this, it took time. He had to grow as a person. He also had to figure out who he was himself. And I think that was what's very important throughout the three texts, is these people are finding out who they really are and how with doing this, it does take time. They say that you can never truly know the full meaning of anything. It's the discovery that keeps taking place. And I think this is a very honest and true quote, as that you never know who you truly are. Each of these texts relate to each other as they are growing as characters or people. And it's a path of growth that takes place. You never know who you truly are until it happens, in a sense. You're always discovering more things about yourself and seeing how much you can take and the mistakes you make, and you always are constantly learning.
Stop trying to fight the waves and just become the waves in many ways. You just let go and just let life carry on.